Do. What is going on out there in Facebook land tonight? You guys see what I'm wearing tonight? Like, I don't know if you guys paid attention, but I was on Facebook earlier and I posted a picture that today was the first day ever in the history of my riding career, other than probably when I was like 5 years old, right? Like maybe I wore like a monosuit or a onesie back when like the 80s or something like that from when I was a little kid. But like today was the first day ever to wear my fly monosuit. And so it was such an amazing experience. I didn't take it off. I just drove home with it after riding with it, and I ate dinner in it. And now I'm doing John Ferrian live in it. We've got the fly racing monosuit. It's so amazing. I'm having such a good time with it. So if you guys like the suit, it's really bright. You can see me. Got black, got bright high visibility green. And then I got a special story for this hat too. When you guys come on, I'll tell you a little bit about that. But drop it in the comments. Let us know where you're watching from. And let me know if you're living large tonight, wherever you're at. So guess what, guys? Like, this is December 2020. 2020 is almost over. And so we're getting close to 2021. And 2021 is going to be amazing. 2020 has been pretty good for me. I'm not going to complain. But I know a lot of you guys out there have had a rough 2020. It's been a hell of a year. And why not come in? Let's live large, have a good time. So thanks for dropping in. Be sure to share the show out, guys. We're going to talk a little bit about a few things here. Let me bring this up. So don't forget that John Ferrian Live Live Large merchandise is available on the website. It's the livelarge itemorder.com. You can get on there and you can order a shirt like this one with a logo on it. We've got Live Large with the American flag on it. You can see it says, live life to the fullest, make the most of every day, and make a difference to others. Because that's what we do over here. You know, no big deal. It's what we do. Next item. I got enough complaints from our friends up in Canada saying, like, John, I love that U.S. flag logo. It's amazing. But I don't live in the U.S. I'll probably get my butt kicked if I wear a U.S. flag shirt up here in Canada. So you know what we did? We made a Canadian flag, a Live Large Canadian flag, living life to the fullest up there. So I know Patrick here who's watching. We got Ian who watches every week. I know those guys are going to hook themselves up with one of these. One more. This is a brand new logo, guys. Everything that we got going on. This is a inverted, upside down image. Guess what? Don't tell anybody. It's actually a picture of me. So this was from last season, an awesome picture of me doing an inverted re-entry here. And we got BRAP Live Large. This is another amazing t-shirt logo there. The best part about these logos, guys, and these shirts that are going on, right now, for the next few weeks, through the end of December, through December 31st, if you order any item from September 1st to the end of December, you either have already ordered in that time frame or you're about to, you're in and eligible to win one of 3 epic prizes. First one is a Ride Rasmussen style skills day. So that skills riding day from Ride Rasmussen style will get you booked for that if you're one of the winners. The Mountain Riding Lab and Mad Ends are both putting up level 1 Erie, level 1 Avalanche classes as well. And so we're having an amazing time giving away amazing prizes. And it's only about, 2 weeks left to get in on these prizes. So get in on those. And special treat, guys, tonight, that Ride Rasmussen style thing, this hat that matches perfectly my fly onesie or my monosuit that I've got on is from Brett Rasmussen. When I was on my summer tour this summer, I swung into Brett Rasmussen's cabin in southern Idaho, and he hooked me up with this beautiful hat, and it matches perfect. So I thought, why not? We're going to be talking about Ride Rasmussen style clinics tonight. We're going to be talking about Tyler's Backcountry Awareness and Level 1 classes tonight. But before we do that, you guys have already been sharing this out. I'm really proud of you. Make sure you get that done. But guess what? If you share this show out tonight, another amazing prize is available. Woody's Racing hoodie and Idaho and Potatoes are back again. We've got some amazing prizes for you guys. Follow them on Instagram. Follow them on Facebook, and they're getting ready to kick off the snowcross racing circuit here very shortly. And so, Keri, why don't you go ahead and come off of mute now? We're going to come back, and we're going to bring Keri up here in 3, 2, and 1. My friend Keri is here.
Everyone.
Holy smokes, how's it going?
Awesome. How's everyone doing tonight? Living large, right?
Woo woo woo. So what do you think, Keri? Like, are you a monosuit fan? Because I'll be honest with you. Before today, I was like, monosuits are for like punks. Like, I'm too old for monosuits. Like, I can't pull off a monosuit. Like, what the heck? But you know what? I saw myself in a picture in a monosuit today, and you know what I thought? I thought I don't look horrible.
I have two, so I don't think they look horrible either.
Oh my gosh. Like, I don't know what I've been missing all this time. Like, I've literally been riding two-piece bibs jacket all these years, and I always put an Avalanche jacket. So the reality is I probably have like 4 layers on. I've got my Avi jacket, my jacket on, my monosuit, my base layer. And then all of a sudden, like today, I'm just like, I feel free. I just couldn't take it off. I wanted
Yes.
to just keep wearing it. And I'm like, why not?
Yes.
Keri's down with that. You'll let me wear my monosuit on the show tonight, won't you?
I expect it every day from now on.
I'll try to. I try to, but it might be a little obnoxious when I log on at Microsoft and I get into a Teams meeting and they like, John, what are you wearing? Like, no, that's got to go. That's got to go. Got to wear the Xbox logo. So I actually have check this out. I actually have a sweet Xbox hat for when I'm at work now. I've got I got my hat collection, but I've got an Xbox hat now. So
It almost matches the suit.
it kind
See?
of does. I could almost put that on, couldn't I? There we go. That's pretty
There you
close.
go.
Well, Keri, this has been a long time coming. This has been an amazing
Yes.
like I want to say, Keri, when did you reach out to me for the first time and say, "Hey, John, I want to talk to you about something"? Do you remember how long it's been?
It's got to be February of this year, so it's been quite a while.
I was going to say it feels like practically a year that we've been chatting and talking about this
Yep.
amazing program that you have called what do we call it?
Driven
Backcountry
school. The
Driven
backcountry
School.
school.
Backcountry Riding
Yeah.
School, the Driven Backcountry Riding School, and it's an amazing, amazing piece. And we're going to get into that tonight and talk about everything it's about, and we're going to talk about what we're going to be doing with it. And I'm really excited because I get to go to it myself and my wife Edith.
I'm excited about that. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. Well, before we dive into all that excitement, let's talk a little bit about like who the heck is Keri and why is she on this show and why did she start Driven? Let's just start at the beginning here. So tell us a little bit about who Keri Vammer is. Where do you live? Like, quote unquote, what's your day job? Like, give us a little background on who you are, Keri.
So I'm based out of Bismarck, North Dakota. So
Okay.
very centralized. I get a lot of grief all the time about why is the Flatlander out of North Dakota heading west to go ride, right?
I know, right?
but but it's been awesome. I had a father that was outstanding. My father believed in snowmobiling, so I've been riding since I was 4 years old, so well over 30 years.
Okay, nice.
And he had a dealership when I was growing up, so I definitely grew up in the dealership world.
Okay.
And what a lot of people don't know is when I graduated college, I actually managed the state of North Dakota snowmobile trails for almost 15 years.
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, so with that job, I was very fortunate and blessed. I got to meet a lot of amazing individuals in the mountain riding world. And that included Brett Rasmussen and a lot of the team that I work with today. And here we are. We kind of decided a few years ago that we just needed to band together. We all had different missions, and we're like, we're going to take all of our missions and make them one and make them really fun. So it's funny because here I am doing all of this, and now I'm running this business, and I also have another business. And you guys are all going to laugh at me, but I actually own a wellness center in Bismarck, Mandan area, and teach yoga classes and all those fun stuff now. So I get a snowmobile. And
why would we laugh at you about
right?
teaching yoga? Like, why would I laugh at you about teaching yoga? Like, I mean, I've not
I
done
get
it.
a lot of grief.
I've not done it personally, but like, let's see if the audience here. Let's do a little poll, little audience. So, Keri, I don't know if you're aware of this, but we're getting pretty close to having set a record live audience. I don't know what's going on tonight. If maybe all the football games are shut off, maybe the Sounders and the soccer tournaments are done. I don't know what's going on tonight. Either that or people just heard that Keri is on the show tonight, or they knew that John was going to make a complete ass of himself tonight on the show with his onesie or something. Like, I don't know what's going on, but we have over 126 live viewers right now. This is amazing.
Woo!
So thank you guys
I love it.
for coming in and checking this out. And so, but let's drop it in the comments. Let us know. Have you ever done yoga? Let us know in the comments right now if you've ever done yoga. Like, my vote is no. I want to do it someday, but I've never done it. But like, we'll get into that maybe another episode on the yoga channel. Maybe we'll do the yoga channel later.
There you go. We can start it.
Live large yoga, right? There you go. That'll be the next item. Awesome.
I love it.
Awesome. So North Dakota, you got involved and you started meeting a bunch of people. And I remember in one of our early
Hmm.
conversations, you had shared with me or somebody had shared with me about you, one or the other, about this idea of like, man, there was a bunch of people from the Midwest going out riding in the mountains, right? And
Yep.
sadly, there was these tragic accidents that sadly continued to happen. People were going out there
Yep.
uneducated, uninformed about what they were getting into. It was an epic, experience, but like they didn't realize the risk and the danger.
Yeah.
And so you saw an opportunity to kind of help fill a gap, right? Tell us a bit more about
Yeah.
that part of it. So,
So it was interesting for me because with managing the state snowmobile trail program in North Dakota, I knew a lot of the snowmobilers across the state. And
yeah.
I always remember, being that person that wanted to head west and go ride because the experience that's kind of an adventure that you don't get to experience
Oh,
normally,
yeah.
right, around here. And so I understood wanting to go ride, but I also was very fortunate since I had so much access to different things. I could get the training I needed too. So I remember my first mountain trip,
Yeah.
I got avalanche trained too. And there wasn't a lot of people that were getting to do that. And I still remember walking out of the training that day with my eyes as big as my goggles, probably,
Yeah.
because I was so blown away by the information that I was receiving. And it was actually with the Gallatin Avalanche Center out of West Yellowstone. And Doug Chabot was one of the main guys teaching the course. So I was
Okay.
very, very blessed to be able to be trained by some of the, mentors in the industry now, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But what was crazy is I was seeing a lot of our North Dakota riders doing the same thing that I was, but they weren't getting the education. And
Okay.
sometimes that meant that they weren't coming home.
That's sad.
And
Yeah.
yeah, it really rocked my world. One of the saddest stories that I can relate to was we had a very influential person that was part of the Motorcycle Association in North Dakota. And he had headed west with a group of buddies to head out to Cook City and enjoy a fun weekend, and was totally pumped because he got to take his son that was finally like 14 years old, got to take his son with to go enjoy this amazing experience. And during the weekend there was an avalanche, and the father actually passed away in the avalanche. And I
Oh my
can never,
gosh.
it still gives me chills to know that these friends had to return their son home to the mom saying, here's your son, but sorry, we couldn't, return your husband, kind of thing. And
Yeah.
I don't know, from that point on, I was on a mission. I'm like, we need to change something. And so it was crazy when Brett and I met, which was funny. I saw him this past week and we were like, holy cow, we've been working together for 11 years already, which doesn't kind
Yeah.
of ages me and I don't want to do that. But when I thought about it, I'm like, 11 years ago, we sat down and we're like, we're not sure how we're going to work together, but we're making something happen. And so
Yeah.
here we are. The mentality was, if you're going to go out and ride like the pros, let's train like the pros and make it awesome too.
I love it. I love it. And so, I mean, here's the awesome thing is like, I keep bumping into people like you in the industry because I'm kind of like you, right? Like here we are, these
Yeah.
advocates for, we're not educator. Like I'm not certified as an
No.
educator trainer. Like I like teaching people. And just this
Hmm.
weekend on a ride on Saturday, we had a club ride and we did a heavy focus on, beacon drills. We buried a beacon. We showed people how to get their probes out and, some beginner level riders that had never done these things before. And so like, to be able to just
Yep.
share experiences with people, I'm happy to do that. But I'm always very clear about the idea that I'm not an avalanche instructor. All I want to do is
Same
share
here.
some information with you, but this is what you should do is go get trained, right? And so helping fill up these classes with, through Airy and through Ride Rasmussen style, like it's amazing that we
Hmm.
see this opportunity to kind of like partner with all of these, and I think the cool part is it's awesome because it really works. What I've seen, and I'll just speak to what I've seen myself, and I know it's working for you too, is this idea that if Brett or Brian or Lundstedt and
Yep.
if they were out there tooting their own horn, like it would fall on a lot of deaf ears, frankly, because people just think like, oh, they're
Yes.
just promoting themselves. Like, oh yeah, whatever. Like avalanche safety is great, yeah, whatever. But when you get someone like
Hmm.
me or you who's not in the industry, we're not making quote unquote, at least for me, I'm not making any money off of it. I'm not trying to do anything with it,
Exactly.
right? It's like it's more of a like just get the people in the training, get people that become this ambassador for this training and this education.
Yep.
And now you have like this kind of third voice, if you will, telling people, not the person who needs the training and not the person who's giving the training, but someone who's saying, this is important. Let me introduce you to my friend Brett Rasmussen or Tyler or Brian Lundstedt
Yes.
at Tyler's Backcountry Awareness. Like, let me introduce you to all my
Hmm.
friends who can help you be better and be a better rider, be better in the backcountry, be safer. So, right?
Definitely. And that's honestly why I picked everyone that I work with on our team, was because there was two things that were really important to me. And one was being humble,
Yeah,
and you can't pick better guys for that. They just
yeah,
have that, they exude that when they do anything. But the other thing too is it was really important for me that you could walk up and have a normal conversation, no different than we're doing right
yeah,
now. And,
exactly.
feel like you could walk away and not only have your answers, but also have a new friend in the industry kind of thing.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. So that's awesome. And so what I love too is that, probably not even super intentionally, but I think in the end it kind of all makes sense is a lot of the same partners that I have. Like I've got, four key partners that I'm working
Hmm.
with Erie, right? I've got Brett Rasmussen from Ride Rasmussen Style who does Avalanche Training, right? So he's one of my, he's an Erie provider and one of the partners I have for
Yep.
the Live Large University. Brian Lundstedt from Tyler's Backcountry Awareness was one of the primary ones right from the beginning that partnered with me, and then the other
Hmm.
two are Matt Enns from Mountain Skills, Matt
Yep.
Enns, and
Hmm.
then the Mountain. It was the Mountain Riding Lab is the last one, right? So
Yep.
it's Matt and Will out of the Mountain Riding Lab
Yep.
out of Jackson, and so those are our main four dedicated area
Yep.
providers that are out there, and two of those same providers are the folks that you had partnered already with too. So it's just amazing how all these coincidences come together and our lives
Yeah,
have intersected. So
definitely. It's funny because I've gotten to know every one of them in a different, format
yeah,
too. And they're all, doesn't matter which program you take, they're all going to
yeah,
do phenomenal. It's just the idea to get the education and go where it's most convenient for you to do it.
absolutely. Well, and what I look at too is like, things like the people that we're both interacting with like that. It's like, I mean, if you're a friend of theirs, you're a friend of mine. Like it's kind of my attitude about it, right? It's
Yep.
this big network of everybody
Yep.
helping each other out. So, um, we talked a little bit about kind of the why behind it. How long ago did you start it then? Like, what year was it that you started the first driven school, and how many years has it been going on?
So we started in 2014. It doesn't even seem real to me, to be honest with you, anymore, that we've
Wow.
been doing this for that long. But 2014 was our first year, and we started out based out of the Bighorns, and it went really, really well for us. And of course, as events expand, ideas expand, we've just kind of rotated around, and here we've ended up in Sealy Lake, Montana, and it's just been an awesome fit for us the last
Yeah.
few years. The crew out in Sealy Lake that we work with at Rich's Ranch is outstanding, and I always tell everybody this is not what happens, but it's a dude ranch, and like how cool is it to be able to go snowmobiling and stay at a dude ranch, and even though they don't ring the cowbell before you go run out for dinner, it's kind of got that feel to
It's got the
it.
vibe. It's got the vibe. That's awesome. That's
It
awesome.
does, yeah,
And so it's been
for
going on
sure.
since 2014, and so you've had opportunity to kind of, I'm going to guess, make some mistakes, find some things that work really well, and over time you've kind of got this thing pretty dialed in, I would imagine, right?
Yeah, we definitely. It's interesting because when we first started this, right, the main goal was to get people avalanche education. And so
Hmm.
typically that was an Avi awareness course of some sort. That was one day.
Yeah.
And here last year was the first year ever that we've been able to host a level one avalanche course in conjunction with the school.
Oh wow.
And we held it on a whim, like not even sure, like people, are they going to be interested? Are they not? And we like sold out of it so fast. It was unbelievable. And this year we have some big announcements tonight that we'll make, but this
Yeah.
year we are doing just as good as we were last year, and we're pumped about it because typically that was what my goal was, to get the avalanche education out there.
Yeah.
So to have that be the biggest part of what we're doing with this event, that's truly outstanding, and it's meeting
That's
my
awesome.
goal in every way possible.
Well,
So
because let me share. I'll call it just to maybe make for a little bit of dramatic effect here. Let me call it the dirty little secret of the avalanche industry, right? Like all of the
yep.
people who are in the avalanche education industry, right? They have a love-hate relationship with awareness classes, right? Because
Yes.
and I'll just say it, right? Like the love part is the fact that it's usually the first point of contact with somebody who maybe has had no training before, And the goal then is to inspire them to quote unquote get the real training, right? Which is
Yep.
a level 1 or a companion rescue class or a level 2 eventually,
Yep.
And so those are the ones where you truly will go from just knowing just enough to be dangerous to actually truly kind of knowing what the heck you're doing, right? And so the other side of that double-edged sword
Exactly.
is this, right? Is it's very, very unfortunate, and this is the part that we need the entire audience's help with, because the only way this, and it is shifting. I would tell you the culture is shifting, but it's not completely there yet. And so here's what I need the entire audience to do as they watch this, as they share this out. Make sure that you and your friends understand completely that an awareness class is not really true full avalanche education, right? Like,
Yes.
don't go to an awareness class at your dealership for a few hours, whether it be the Skidoo one, which we all love, or a regular local one. Like even our local Avalanche Center, Northwest Avalanche Center, we do awareness classes because a lot of times that is our first opportunity to engage with somebody that maybe we would never engage with, right? And it's the ideas that you kind of like trying to like kind of get them, hook them, pull them in the boat, right? And
Yep.
then get them in there. But for anybody who goes to an awareness class and thinks that they have gotten their avalanche training, you are very sorely mistaken. And that's this double-edged sword, right? And so there's some people in the industry who are like, awareness classes are a complete waste of time. Like, I don't think that's true. I don't believe that's true. But there's some people who absolutely believe that that's the case because they think that it sets the wrong expectation for all of us backcountry riders, right? I don't agree or disagree. It kind of goes both ways. But, bottom line is
they're all needed.
They're all needed, yep. What were you going to say, though?
They're all needed. No, you're fine. I think they're all needed. I think the interesting part is making sure people know that when they come out of an awareness course, that it is awareness. There's no certificate.
Yeah.
Like they didn't complete the 24 hours to get their certificate kind of deal. So.
Well, an avalanche education is not like a one and done thing, right? And so it doesn't matter if you're doing any of these I don't care if you've taken a level 1. You don't just take one level 1 class and then ride for the next 30 years of your life and never take another class. Like that's ignorant as well, right? All of these classes, whether you're doing the basic, all these different ones, the level 1, level 2, and all of them, is they need refreshed. Like I go back and I take an awareness class every single year just as a fun refresher. And then this is now going to be, I'm attending, we're going to get to that in a minute here, but I'm going to be attending and taking my second time I'm taking a level 1 class. And then the second time I'll be taking a companion rescue class, right? As we're talking about that a little bit too tonight. And so like I look at this as a huge opportunity to kind of continue to refresh my training because it's been 2 to 3 seasons now since I've done my last level 1. And so it was time for me to do it anyway. So this worked out perfectly.
Perfectly. So, it's interesting that you even say that though, because one of the other things I've often said is if you have the chance to train from someone that you've never trained from, do it. Just because I think a lot of times different educators have a way of getting a point across differently than someone else. And so I have often taken away, even though I forget, I can count on both hands and feet the amount of classes I've been to. And to be honest with you, I've learned something different from every class just because of the way they presented it. So, and I think that's key to remember that.
Very true. And so what the heck were you thinking when you called me like a year ago almost, right? Like what was on your mind when you called me?
All I could think of is I'm like, this guy's kind of crazy. I like it.
That's true. I'm currently wearing a monosuit on live Facebook Live. So like, yeah, I'm a little crazy. Just saying.
I love it. And I'm like, I don't know. He's got the same kind of goals, same mission that I've got. We need to connect and make something bigger and better. We need to reach people and we need to make sure that they know opportunities exist for them to be able to get the training. So.
Yep. And sounds good. And so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pre-announce this, and then we're going to go into the story. But I'm just going to tell anybody who's watching now, we still have right now about 74 live viewers watching, and that number is kind of a fluid number. It goes up and down. People come and go. But currently, we still got a very good audience here. And here's the thing, is this what we're about to talk about, there's two spots left, right? Is that what you told me before we started this?
2.
Okay. 2. So we're doing one class this year, and the class is going to, and I'll do the high level, then we're going to go back into it in detail, but it's going to be a level 1 avalanche class with Brian Lundstedt, Tyler's Backcountry Awareness, right? And then it's going to be 2 days of Ride Rasmussen style training with the Ride Rasmussen crew, right? All for one inclusive price that we're going to go into the details here in a little bit. But what I would tell you is if you think you're interested, you can probably right now send Keri a message, and she will go into her messages in order of who sent her the messages, and she will follow up with you if you would want to join myself and my wife Edith, and along with, I believe it's still happening, Kyle Franklin, who's watching right now, Nina Clifton is coming, Theron Huseman is watching, he's watching right
Yes.
now, and there's a few others here from Washington State are coming, and you've got some others from Montana. But right now, as of right now, we have 2 spots. Oh, Darren's here too. Darren King, who's coming, he's watching right now. I see him popping up. And so most of the people who are going are here watching. We're going to have a blast. This is going to be fun. Even if nothing else, this is going to be the most fun trip you've ever had in your life, right? Period.
We'll make sure of it.
But here's the thing: is she only has 2 spots left for the full shebang, right? And so start messaging her now. Let her know you're interested, and she'll follow up with you after the show tonight or tomorrow. We'll see how long it goes. She doesn't want to be up till 2 a.m, replying to messages, but she might be. And so let's talk about what they're going to sign up for, or what they want to sign up for, and what you have planned. And so I'll turn it over to you, Keri. Just kind of talk us through what is going to be happening, the dates, the class schedule. Just walk us through it.
Yeah, not a problem. This is awesome. So we're excited. This year's event's going to start January 31st. And with January 31st, that means you're coming in for the 3-day Avalanche 1 certificate course. This course is 24 hours of training, and it will be Brian Lundstedt along with his team at Tyler's Backcountry Awareness coming in to make sure that you learn the down and dirty of avalanche education, and make sure that when you go out and ride that you're prepared. And you know what? The best part is that you can come home at the end of the day to relive it all over and do it again another day.
Yep.
So we're really pumped. So that Sunday, which is the 31st, all the way through Tuesday, is going to be that 3-day Avalanche 1 certificate course.
Okay.
And then typically our riding course for the 2 days of riding, it actually starts out with a 1-day Avi awareness class.
Okay.
But this year, because we've had such overwhelming response with so many people wanting to participate in the entire event, which we did not expect, which is so phenomenal. I've got off the phone with Brian today, and he has agreed to do something outstanding for all of us. And I'm so pumped about this.
I'm listening.
You can't even get it spit out, right? But he's actually agreed that for everyone that is taking the level 1, you are not only going to leave with a level 1 certificate on Wednesday, the intro day, since you guys don't necessarily need intro anymore because you're already doing ARI 1.
Okay.
You now get to go home with an ARI rescue class too, or certificate too.
Okay. Let me help you amplify what a big deal this is, right? Because here's the thing.
I know, right?
Just so I'm clear, did I say here that was included in the price that already we're talking about,
Included.
Oh my God. You guys, this is just stupid, ridiculous value that you're going to get out of this training, right? And so here's what's going on is for you to go through your recreational, avalanche training, right? You have a awareness class, which we've talked about, right? You have a level 1, which we're talking about. And then the next phase of that's a prerequisite to the level 2 is actually the companion rescue course. And that's a 1-day on the snow class as well, right? And where you're doing heavy focus on, the beacon drills, the shovel, the probing, like all of the using of the tools and the drills and stuff to really get dialed in on the action part of your companion rescue, right? Is just what it says. That is a prerequisite for you to be able to take your level 2. That's unprecedented, unheard of. And that class, I don't even know how much, but it's not a cheap class by itself, right? If you were to go take that companion rescue class by itself, do you know, off the top of your head? I don't even know if I know off the top of my head. Is it $100? Is it more than that?
It's usually $150.
Yeah.
$150 usually.
Yeah, so you're getting an incremental $150 class that I didn't even know I was signing up for yet, but I'm excited for it. I'm stoked for it. That's awesome. And so, yeah, Tori Billings, yes, the answer is we're going to do an Avalanche 1 class first. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday is a level 1 Avalanche class, the ARI certified class. You get your ARI certification for level 1. And then on Wednesday, we're going to go right immediately into a companion rescue class. And that class... Those 2 classes are a prerequisite for you then the following season or 2 seasons later for you to be set up to take your level 2 class if you choose to do so. Now, again, none of these technically are required, but if you do want to get to a level 2, the other 2 are required, right? So we got to go back and forth. All right, I'm just gonna let that sink in for a minute here. Let me just think about it. That's freaking awesome. That's awesome.
I know, right? I
That's
was so
awesome.
pumped when Brian said that he was going to be able to make that happen. So his
Yeah.
team, special
Brian,
thanks to every one of them.
Brian, we love you. If you're watching, I don't know. He watches usually. Like I don't know if he watches live. Sometimes he watches the replay. But Brian, we love you. Thank you for so much for stepping up and making
Exactly.
that happen. So, yep. So
Yeah.
Skinner Bell wants to go, but he has a group to ride. So Skinner, maybe you can bring your group that you're guiding up to Sealy Lake, Montana from Wyoming, and then I don't know. We'll figure out how to make that work. We can sneak you into the class through the back door, maybe or something. Skinner Bell.
Right?
I mean,
He knows a few people. He might be able to make it happen.
He'll show up on a pink sled. That dude can do whatever he wants to, right? So.
Exactly.
Yep. Exactly. All right. So. And there's more. That's the best part. We're not even done talking
Yes.
yet. Like, and there's more.
No, I know.
So keep talking.
I know. It's been a great like last few months and stuff, watching everything plan out and how it's been shaping up for this event. But because we are getting so full and we only have 2 spots left because of this, Brian, when I visited with him today, he's not only offered the rescue class to everybody that's taken the whole event, he's actually offered to do a second level 1 Avalanche certificate course. So we are actually going to be opening up a level 1 Avalanche certificate course on February 4th.
Is this thing working? Is this thing working? I mean, like you just said, you're going to offer, like, for those who maybe can't make it to the first one, an opportunity for the Sealy Lake area for them to get. They can take just the level 1 class. Like if they decide they want just a level 1 class and not everything, they can do just a level 1 class with Brian, and he's setting up a whole second class just because of the huge demand that we've got going on.
Yes, I might have to like load him up with lots of lozengers and I don't know, his favorite coffee. And I know he likes Dot's pretzels to get him through the week, but we're totally going to make this happen in order to make this happen for you guys.
So I don't know if you've kind of connected all the dots here yet, Keri, but like just this last week, me and this company called Airy, like we just gave away about 20 some Avalanche scholarships, right? And I think of those, ballpark around 10 of them are recreational scholarships, right? And so level 1, level 2, different ones there too. But there's probably a number of those people who just received approval for a scholarship who probably could come to this Airy level 1 scholarship, and they can come down and hang out with me, hang out with you. They can do their class with Brian. And their class is already approved to be paid for through the scholarship, the Live Large University Scholarship Program. It seems like a no-brainer to me.
100%. I'd be down. I don't know.
Yep. But there's more. Like, and so all of these pricing and everything we're going to talk about in a minute, we'll get to the pricing here, but just know that we're talking about all-inclusive food and lodging and all that stuff too. And so like if you did use your level 1 scholarship, from Live Large University, just know that that covers just the class, the scholarship class, right? That wouldn't cover the lodging and stuff separately. So we just want to clarify that in case there's any confusion. But there's more. What else is going on? Is there like a Ride Rasmussen skills days going on there?
Just a few days, right?
Like 2.
So the Ride Rasmussen's like 2. And there's actually a third day for those that want to do a bonus third day with hanging out with the team and go out and ride. So I have been working, like I said earlier tonight, with Brett and his crew for about 11 years. And because of it, I'm a firm believer that they provide outstanding education to anybody looking to just kind of step up their game on the snowmobile. And that doesn't matter if it means you just got on a snowmobile or if you've been riding for 30 years. So these guys are outstanding. And Brett's going to have Cameron Comenti with 3C Guiding out of Wyoming coming up to Sealy Lake with us. And then Carl Zermulin out of Sealy Lake himself running Crazies. They will be instructing your clinic for the 2, possibly 3 days on the snow, depending upon what you guys want to come out and ride with us. So it's phenomenal.
So here's the thing, like you keep talking about more and more of my friends, like, Carl or Cameron Comenti, like I've had on John Ferrian Live. He's been on here. We've interviewed him. We've talked to him. I've met him in person at Heydays. He's my friend. And so he's a certified instructor for Rasmussen. He's going to be up doing the Ride Rasmussen Day. Carl, I got to tell you a fun little side story of Carl. Carl, over the summer when I was like unemployed, I was like daydreaming. I was thinking like, I wonder if I could move, like sell my house in Washington, move out to somewhere like Sealy Lake, Montana, maybe. And I was going through all my friends lists on legit story. This is true. I was going through my list of Facebook friends. I'm like, who do I know that lives in Cedar Lake, Montana? And Carl's name popped up, and I hadn't even connected the dots yet of who he was and what was going on, right? And so I literally just start messaging Carl through Facebook Messenger, and I'm like, hey, Carl, you got a minute? I want to talk to you. I told him, there's a business in town that's for sale that I'm thinking about maybe buying. If I don't get a job soon, I might sell my house and move out there and just start a business out there. You never know. And so I call him and I'm asking him about, and it turns out it's the same Carl that we're talking about here tonight. And so Carl, just through me reaching out to him and cold calling him through Facebook Messenger, he was such a kind-hearted guy, and he was telling me all about his area and like everything going on. Like, it was so awesome. Like, he was so friendly and so, like inviting to come to Sealy Lake and to check it out. And I said, someday I'm going to come and see you and ride with you. And then we put all this together. And here I am now, like, oh yeah, we're talking about him here.
Yeah, it's awesome. I had a privilege of meeting him several years ago, and we haven't looked back since. In fact, I just got to hang out with all of them this last week in West Yellowstone for Brett's Ride Rasmussen and Style Instructor Guide Clinic. And
whipping them all into shape, or what were you doing?
Well, they probably are whipping me into shape. I don't know.
Okay.
One or the other.
Okay.
Yeah, they were all having fun. They were doing their refresher course to make sure they're ready for going out in the snow with all of you. So yeah, it was awesome to be able to be there and be a part of something that's going to be so outstanding. And what's great is everybody wants to be outdoors this year, right? Who wants to be stuck indoors with all the stuff going on in the world? So I think that it's just outstanding that we're able to provide these opportunities for all of you.
Well, one of the things I really love about this too, and it's something that, you and I hadn't really talked through this yet too, but it's something that I'm pretty passionate about, and my beliefs on this is that, backcountry safety includes a lot of things, right? Like, but being safe in the backcountry and navigating avalanche terrain and all those things with avalanche safety, a lot of it comes down also to riding skills, right? And so, like, I go back to my career, not literally a career, but like my history of snowmobile riding. Like, I started in 2007. And so I lived in Minnesota, and I would go out to like Cook City, Montana, or West Yellowstone, or to Utah, different places. And I think back to like 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, probably only like the first 4 or 5 years of my riding out there. I'd go out there for a year or two, at the time thing. And I think of all the times that I've either smashed up a sled, gotten hurt, almost been in an avalanche, it's frankly because of my lack of experience and education, right? And so as I've learned how to ride, I'm also now able to make better decisions for navigating the terrain I'm in, because now that I have the skills to do so, I now can choose the terrain I'm riding in rather than getting sucked into somewhere I don't want to be, or like I'm heading down a hill and all of a sudden now I realize like, oh yeah, I don't want to be down there. Guess what? I have the option to turn out and go sideways or back up the hill if I want to, rather than going down into, a terrain trap or a potential avalanche zone or something like that, right? And so like all of this really is truly tied together. And to be able to have, Ride Rasmussen Style not only just does the riding clinics, but they also do avalanche training. And so their instructors are very safety minded, as well as now layering in Brian Lundstedt and his crew, which is world class, top notch, training team. I am so stoked for this. This is going to be such an amazing opportunity. And so one question that I've gotten as people that I know have already kind of started signing up is like, oh, but Keri, like I'm just like a kind of a beginner and entry level rider, or maybe a beginner intermediate rider. Like, really, is this for me, or like is this really for people who are way better than me? Like, talk about riding skills and what we're going to be able to accommodate on this trip. Like, let's just hit that right on the head.
Yeah. So we accommodate a little bit of everything, to be honest with you. It's kind of funny when you ask someone about their riding abilities, you get one of two answers, and either they are going to tell you really how badass they are out in the snow, or two, they're going to tell you that they're like, oh, I dabble in that little bit of backcountry riding, but that's it. And we found that you're kind of going to get somewhere in the middle, right?
Yeah.
But we really want to focus on making sure that people know how to run their edge. I think that's so key in so many things. And a lot of people struggle even just with that simple technique on its own. So our riders are really good at making sure that they can kind of assess everybody's abilities and kind of divide and conquer a little bit. So that way no one ever feels out of their comfort zone. They can always make sure that they get out on the snow and they start practicing and getting that seat time. Seat time is what's so important, right? We become better riders the more seat time that we get.
Yeah.
And I think that by being able to put them in an area where they can challenge themselves a little bit, but they are feeling still confident and they're not over scared or nervous about anything, it gives them the chance to be able to find what they are looking to expand their knowledge when they're out on the sled. So Cameron, Carl, we also work with Craig Olhauser with Ride 701. He's actually based out of the Bismarck-Mandan area where I am in North Dakota. And he's currently going through the Ride Rasmussen style instructor program.
Very nice.
And yeah, so we work with quite a few of those people. Every one of them there is actually meant to be there for you guys. Like, this is literally, I tell everybody, if you're going to come out and ride with us, use this to your advantage. Our guys, they not only know how to do the riding technique, but they also know how to do sled technique, sled setup, all of those questions.
Yeah.
So you're basically paying to go and learn from the best and make sure that your sled is set up for you, so you're able to go out and do whatever you want to do on your sled. Make it dance, right?
Yep. Nope. Absolutely. Absolutely. And by the way, I'm noticing too that our dear friend Brian Lundstedt is here watching us live tonight too. So hey, Brian,
Yay!
checking in with you.
Peace.
Appreciate what you've done for all of us, and including for this event here. So, well, let's get to the nuts and bolts of it. Everybody wants to know, like, well, what is this going to be, like $10,000 or something like that? And let's remind everybody what they're getting. Like, I mean, let's just kind of piece this out. Is like, if I were to go just take a level 1 Avalanche class with Brian Lundstedt, I've been to his website, like, not including lodging, not including food or anything, like, it's a $400 class. Like, and I've got to get there. I've got to be able to, you know, have lodging and food, and I got to bring my snowmobile there. I got gas. And so trust me, when you pay for a $400 class, you're really truly paying way more than that. So let's just set that bar. And then Ride Rasmussen Day, like, I haven't looked at his website lately, but like, what does an individual Ride Rasmussen Day cost if you were to just like go over to his website and book a day or 2 days or whatever it is? Like, what does that cost?
It's $325 a person.
Yeah, so
and you get to go out on the snow like with 1 or 2 guides at the most. So.
Yeah. Okay, so you know, if I were to just do this, like, it's already a crap ton of money, like, already, right? Because this is really good quality instruction. But now you start adding on lodging and food and like just an amazing location with guides around us and stuff too. Like, now this has got to be like super crazy expensive, right? Like $10,000 for this entire week, right? Is that what you're going to charge me?
No, to be honest with you, if you come and hang out with us for all 6 days, you're getting it for the awesome price of $2,100. $2,100, it's $2,100. That's all inclusive, meaning all your lodging, meals, and the training that you're receiving.
Yeah, that's amazing, guys. And break that down literally. Not you, Keri, but I want the people who are watching. Like, some people are going to have one of two different reactions. They're going to be like, that is insanely crazy expensive, $2,100. What the hell are you thinking? And then there's others who are going to really truly understand and know the value of what they're getting, who are going to be like, oh my God, let me sign up right now. And I'll just tell you my personal experience is I mean, I don't know, you've kept track better than I have. I've lost track. How many people have I already got booked up from my local area here, right? Like people from my club and just friends of mine who are coming out. Like, a number of them, here's exactly what they've said. I've told them the price, and I've kind of like waiting for them to kind of flinch a little bit, like, because $2,100 is like no joke, right? That's legit money. But like when I start explaining to them what all they get for it, they're kind of like, that actually is a really good deal. Like, that's kind of when they really sit down and add it up and think about it. And so it's been kind of a no-brainer for a lot of folks if it's in their budget to do so, and they've wanted the training anyway, and they've been thinking about like a Ride Rasmussen Day or like some other pro rider somewhere or anybody, like they've already done the math of what all that stuff costs. And so for $2,100 to have an all-inclusive week, and let me just add, like, for no extra charge, you get to hang out with John Ferrian. Just saying.
That sounds like the best part to me.
My guess is you're going to have to give people refunds for having to hang out with me is probably what's going to happen. So.
Oh, funny.
But here's the thing. Like, in spite of me coming, here's the good news, guys and gals. Edith Ferrian will be there. My wife, Edith, which everybody loves and adores, will be there. And in spite of me being there and getting in your way and making a nuisance and all that stuff too, Edith will be there, and she will inspire you, and she'll show you how to, like, she's out there probably right now going to throw a rock at me, but like, Edith's been stepping up her game. Like, we've been working on her ride game. And so this is going to be an awesome experience for her as well too. I'm super stoked to bring her to an event like this. And again, a number of friends who are already coming from all over the country, really. And I guarantee you by the end of this episode, we're going to have at least 2, if not more people pinging you, Keri, to get this thing booked. So.
Well, we're ready. We're so excited. There's nothing like getting together with the entire team right before we did this interview here and just getting us regrouped for the season. We're ready to go. I think all of us are just ready for the snow to fly.
Yep. And when you send Keri a message, make sure you tell her John Ferrian warned me about that he's coming too, but I'm coming anyway. Like, make sure you let her know that. That way she knows she doesn't have to clarify, like, did you guys know John's going to be there, right? Just want to make sure you know, right?
I'm pretty sure they'll get over it.
They'll get over it. They'll be fine. So anyway, I mean, I think we've talked through most of what we wanted to talk about. Is there anything we've missed? Like, I mean, I know we've talked about a lot, but is there anything we've missed?
The biggest thing left would be that there's a bonus ride day, and anybody that's taking the entire school, you can choose to add that additional day on to go out and just free ride with, of course, the Ride Rasmussen style instructors. Yep. That would be that Saturday. And for those of you that are taking that, it's a special deal.
Yeah, and I'm going to apologize now to my friends who are watching. So Darren, Theron, if Alex Crop, you guys are watching, Edith, same. Like, if you guys are okay with it, we'll stay one extra day, or at least most of that extra day, and we'll hang out with these guys too, if you're okay with it. Because I told them, like, we're done on Friday and we're going to be driving back Saturday. In my head, I didn't realize that, like, there was a bonus day at the end to go ride with the instructors and everybody too. And so, like,
yeah,
I'm going to ask Edith.
We kind of let everybody pick it out.
Hey, let me call Edith right now, live on the air, and see what she says. Edith. Here, I'm going to call her Edith Ferrian. So, Edith, if you're watching, I'm calling you right now. All right, you guys talk to her for me. So, all right.
Hello?
Hey, Edith, are you watching John Ferrian live right now?
I am.
Okay, so...
You're interrupting.
Yeah, Keri wants to know if we can stay for that last ride day on Saturday, if that's okay with you. I think I've just embarrassed her to death. And so
she's like, set up. Oh no.
Exactly. And so, like, Nina, okay, wait, we are game for an extra ride day. So Nina Clifton and Kyle Franklin say they're in for the extra day. Edith is in for the extra day. So if Darren and Darren is on here, he says he's in for the extra day. That's Theron. And so Darren King, you're watching live. Are you in for the extra day? Then we just have to check with Alex. And if so, then we're in. We're good to go. So, all right, Edith, thanks for coming live on the air and calling into the show.
Thanks, Edith. Woo!
Bye. Love you. All right. See, Edith is, I've been doing this show for like 153 episodes, and like I have yet to get Edith in for a full, I told her I want to interview her someday. Like I says, like, Edith, you should come on and I want to interview you for the shows. She goes, over my dead body. But I keep bringing her in like that, and like, now I know why she wants to kill me. So.
Maybe she needs to like interview, or you need to interview her on what it's like to live with you some days.
That would be like the highest rated episode ever, because all my dirty laundry, right? So, all right. So I think now we've covered everything, or is there more?
Yeah, that was everything. It's a lot, and I am so pumped. We can't wait to see all of you.
Well, let's just be really crystal clear so there's no misinterpretation. Is the inclusive food and lodging is for starting which days? It starts on Sunday morning, and so Saturday night, someone would have to cover their own lodging Saturday night if they're coming in early, right?
Yes, exactly. Yep.
And then basically Sunday meals are included, right? Sunday?
Yep.
Okay.
All the way through, yep.
And then all the way through till Friday night and into Saturday morning, meals are included, right? Okay.
Yep, you got it.
And then at some point, you're going to have to kick us all out of there, and we're all going to have to go home so that we can make more money to come back again the next year and do it all over again.
And do it all over, yes.
Yep,
you got it.
Yep.
They might not want to kick us out. They kind of like us there. They usually don't like us to leave. So you might have to get hogtied, but we'll figure it out.
I think the only thing that I'm going to like more than my new monosuit is this trip. And so I'm wearing this monosuit for no good reason because I'm there. So I'm probably going to do the same thing with the trip. I'm just not going to want to let it go. Just kind of like this monosuit. So.
Yes.
I am exhausted, Keri. You have worn me out.
That's good.
Yep. So is there anything else now we need to talk about, or can we let these folks go back to their day job and to their evening? So
we can let them go have some nice peace and relaxation. I just expect to see them on the snow doing yoga.
Awesome. Yeah, snow yoga. Everybody get out there and do the snow yoga, right? So awesome. So thank you all for tuning in tonight. Keri, thank you so much for joining us tonight and for setting up this amazing thing. Like, and no joke, very much truly appreciate you, Keri, for taking the initiative back in 2014 to kick this thing off and to stick it out. Like, honestly, a project like this is such a big undertaking that for you to have done it, continued to evolve it, and keep doing it, and to see the success you're having with it and keep doing it, like, that's amazing. And so you're really making a difference in our industry, and I really want to say thank you for that. I really do appreciate the work you're doing. So
I appreciate it. I feel the same about you. Thank you for all your work too, John. It's been an awesome last year getting to know you, and I can only imagine how much more amazing things we're going to do together.
Awesome. And Brian Lundstedt says breakfast and dinner group lunch is packed lunch. So he's clarifying some of the food things that are there too. We can always count on Brian to keep track of us and keep us on the straight and narrow. So Brian, we appreciate you for that. So I'm going to wrap this up with everybody and tell you, God bless all of you. I hope I see you in Sealy Lake, Montana. And again, we got 2 spots left for the whole week. But how many spots do we have left for that second level 1, area level 1 that's coming in? That's like another 10 spots or something, isn't it? Or
Yes. We can take up to 12, minimum of 8, but 12, let's do it.
Okay, so just to be clear, and I don't know if we were clear about that, is like, if you want to come for the whole thing, including the ride Rasmussen days and everything, we got spot for 2 more, right? That's $2,100. But if somebody wants to come in just for the area level 1, there's an extra one set up for the end of that week when we're in ride Rasmussen style. You can still go back in with Brian at Backcountry Awareness, at Tabas Backcountry Awareness. And how much for the food and lodging in the Avalanche class, just for the level 1 class?
$875.
All right. An incredible deal also when you add up all the lodging and the food and everything that you're going to have. Plus, you still get to hang out with us too. So that's awesome.
Woo!
All right. So thank you guys for joining us tonight. God bless everybody. Don't forget to live large and have a great night.
Thank you, everyone.